Have you ever felt the itch to pack a bag, lock up the house, and just get away for a while? Maybe visit a place you've always dreamed of. Maybe even a family reunion or that charming little town someone recommended last year. The idea is tempting, isn't it? Especially after decades of hard work, raising a family and fulfilling responsibilities. You've earned your rest, and the world feels like it's calling your name. But let me ask you something that not many people talk about. What if that dream trip could actually do you more harm than good? I know, it sounds counterintuitive. After all, everyone says retirement is the perfect time to travel. You're free now, go enjoy life, they say. And yes, there's truth to that. But here's the thing most people won't tell you. Past a certain age, travel can quietly turn from relaxing to risky, not just physically but emotionally too. And those risks often hide in plain sight. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Not to scare you, but to protect you. Because the truth is, there are some very real dangers that come with traveling in your later years, and knowing them could save you from pain, frustration, or even a serious medical setback. So let's start with one of the biggest reasons most people overlook: the hidden stress your body goes through when you travel. You might feel mentally excited, but your body, it's not always on the same page. Long flights or car rides can take a toll: stiff joints, swollen legs, interrupted sleep. Even sitting for hours can increase your risk of blood clots, and adjusting to different time zones or sleeping in unfamiliar beds, that can completely throw off your routine, especially if you have medications to take, a specific diet to follow, or sensitive digestion. It doesn't take much for a small physical strain to spiral into something bigger when you're far from home and your usual doctor. And it's not just the physical side of things. Travel can stir up hidden emotional stress as well. If you're someone who thrives on routine and stability, being in a new environment can leave you feeling disoriented or even anxious. Strange hotel rooms, busy airports, unfamiliar languages or foods, they can all pile up and make you feel disconnected or overwhelmed. Even if you don't notice it right away, you might feel out of place, unsure, or even homesick. And those emotions, they matter. They affect your energy, your sleep, your mood, and over time, even your physical health. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy yourself or explore new things, but there's a difference between healthy exploration and pushing your body and mind past their comfort zone just to chase a picture-perfect moment. Sometimes what looks like a relaxing getaway can turn into an exhausting challenge, and it's not until you're halfway there that you realize it's too much. And here's something else people rarely mention. When you travel in older age, the sense of security you once took for granted can quickly disappear. You're suddenly in unfamiliar territory, far from your support network. If something goes wrong, a fall, a fever, a missed flight, there's no spouse in the next room to help, no nearby hospital that knows your history, no neighbor to check in. That feeling of vulnerability can be unsettling, even if you try to ignore it. And if you're traveling alone or with others who aren't sensitive to your needs, it can be especially isolating. So before you throw your bags in the trunk or book that flight, take a moment. Ask yourself not just where you want to go, but why. Is it truly about joy and peace? Or is it about filling a gap, proving something, or keeping up with someone else's expectations? Because your well-being matters. And staying rooted, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, might be exactly what your body and heart are quietly asking for. And it has to do with how travel can quietly disrupt your health routines in ways that add up fast. At home, everything has a rhythm. You know where your medications are. You eat meals at regular times. You've got your walking route, your favorite chair, maybe even a morning routine that keeps your day grounded. But once you're on the road, even the simplest things can fall out of place. You miss breakfast because the hotel doesn't serve early. You forget a pill because it got packed in the wrong bag. You don't stretch like you normally do because the room is too cramped. Or worse, your body feels stiff but you ignore it because you're on vacation. And that's the trap. When you step away from routine, you also step away from the habits that keep you strong. For seniors especially, this matters more than ever. A few days of poor sleep, skipped meals, or missed medications can throw your entire system off. Your energy dips. Your balance gets shaky. Your mood takes a hit. You might chalk it up to just being tired from the trip, but what you're really feeling is your body reacting to inconsistency, and it doesn't bounce back as fast as it used to. Even food becomes an issue. Think about it. On a trip, you're often eating what's convenient, not what's good for you. Fast food at rest stops, salty meals in restaurants, or unfamiliar dishes that upset your stomach. If you've got dietary needs, like managing blood, sugar, heart health, or digestion, these little deviations can cause big problems. A sudden spike in blood pressure or a digestive issue might not just ruin your trip. It could land you in a local ER far from home. And then there's the emotional layer most people avoid talking about: loneliness and disconnect. You might be surrounded by beautiful places, even friendly faces, but that doesn't always mean you feel emotionally safe or connected. If you're traveling with people who don't understand your pace, or if they're rushing through activities while you struggle to keep up, it can make you feel like a burden or invisible. No one talks about this part. That quiet moment at the end of the day when you feel left out. When you stay behind at the hotel while the others go sightseeing because your knees hurt or you're too tired. Or worse, when you're silently trying to hide how uncomfortable you are because you don't want to ruin anyone else's fun. That emotional weight, it lingers. And when you return home, you might find yourself more drained than restored. Because travel, for all its promise of excitement, doesn't always give you what you truly need: peace, comfort, familiarity, and meaningful connection. Sometimes, the best kind of joy isn't found across the country or on some distant shore. Sometimes it's right in your own neighborhood, on your porch, with your favorite book, or over tea with a friend who truly gets you. That kind of joy doesn't require a passport, just presence. And when we begin to understand that, we also begin to protect ourselves from unnecessary pain, physical, emotional, and spiritual. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, one more hidden risk that too many overlook. And it's the one that tends to creep in quietly, often long after the bags are unpacked and the photos are shared. I'm talking about the emotional crash that can come after travel, especially in older age. You see, we often build up a trip in our minds as something magical, something that will refresh us, lift our spirits, maybe even bring back that spark we felt years ago. And sometimes it does, briefly. But when the trip ends and the excitement fades, there can be an unexpected emotional dip, a kind of emptiness that settles in. You return to the same four walls, the same quiet, the same routine. And suddenly, it feels even heavier than before you left. That's because travel, while exciting, often creates a high, a rush of newness, of distraction. But that rush isn't real life. It's temporary. And when it fades, it can leave you feeling lonelier than before. This emotional low can be especially hard if you already struggle with isolation or feel that your best years are behind you. Instead of feeling recharged, you feel like you've come back to a life that somehow feels smaller. It's important to recognize that this isn't a failure on your part. It's not about being ungrateful or negative. It's about understanding how major changes in environment, especially for seniors, can affect the mind and heart just as much as the body. When your nervous system has to work overtime to adjust, then suddenly drops back into stillness, it can feel jarring and like going from a loud party to an empty room. And for some, it triggers more than sadness. It can stir up regret about things left undone, people no longer here, or time that seems to be slipping too fast. A simple vacation suddenly opens emotional doors you didn't mean to walk through. Maybe you saw families traveling together and it reminded you of when your kids were young. Or maybe you realized just how much your body has changed when you couldn't keep up with the group. These moments hit hard, and if you're not prepared for them, they can linger far longer than you expected. So what's the answer? It's not about avoiding all joy or staying stuck in place. It's about being deeply honest with yourself about what you truly need and what brings you lasting peace, not just momentary escape. Sometimes, joy looks like a garden in your backyard, a conversation with someone who listens, a quiet afternoon, nap with the sun streaming through the window. There's a different kind of adventure waiting for you, And it doesn't require you to risk your health, stress your emotions, or leave the comfort of your support system. It's the adventure of depth, not distance, of being present instead of constantly seeking something new. So the next time you feel the pull to escape, ask yourself, am I running towards something or away from something? Because you deserve peace, you deserve safety, you deserve joy that lasts longer than a plane ticket. And maybe, just maybe, your greatest journey isn't out there on the road. It's right here, in the life you're still creating. One grounded, beautiful day at a time.